Welcome to the Biz Show, sponsored by InvestQuire. And now, your host, Barry and Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing today?
Hi, Barry. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a great day today.
It's a great day in the neighborhood.
Hey, Mr. Rogers.
Would you be mine?
I am your neighbor.
Oh, my goodness. We're having too much fun.
Always. It's always fun.
You can't not have fun when you're working.
Even when we're dealing with clients that we struggle with, we're still having fun at it, aren't we?
Yeah, you have to. It's always a learning moment.
I just look at it this way. Life is what it's going to be. Here's my path. I'm following down this path. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. Sometimes there's turns in the road.
Right. And what did Forrest Gump say? Life is like a box of chocolate.
You never know what you're going to get.
When in doubt, have a box of chocolate.
Mama said that, right? Mama said life was like it. Yeah. Cool. Well, what's our topic?
Mama's going to talk today.
All right. What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? Maximizing profitability, increasing your value before you sell your business.
Right. Some of this might sound familiar because we have in the past talked about maximizing profitability, so on and so forth, but this is specific to before you sell the business, things that you can do to increase the value of your business.
Yeah, we just had a nice conversation with a client that's getting ready to sell and her business is becoming more profitable. So it's kind of like she's just right there at the right time, getting ready to sell, and just a couple more months of showing her books that she has an increase in income that's going to help her sell the business for top dollar. Right.
Yeah. And that's, as a business owner and you're selling your business, that's your goal, right? You want to try to exit your company with the most amount of dollars in your pocket.
Right. What a great way to go when you're selling, right? You feel really good about selling something that is really worth what you sold for.
Yes, definitely. Well, let's talk about optimizing the pricing strategy, right? So there's a couple different strategies. Yes?
Yeah.
So there's the competitive pricing analysis, and we do a hodgepodge of all of these, right? So we're looking at the competitors, right? We're looking at the industry, and then what does that market bear, right? And then where does your business fit in with all the other businesses that are out there?
Right. You don't want to be overpriced and have people think it's a joke. They look into your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what? There's no other business like that in this market with that price range.
And we've seen some of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this one that we were just working with a little while ago actually was underpriced.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
And so after we analyzed the numbers and stuff like that, we were able to bring that price up to a fair market value for that business.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure that we're getting the maximum sales price for you guys?
Well, so how will we do that? We're going to analyze the profit losses, the income statements, past taxes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do something that we call a recast, right? And a lot of people don't know what a recast is. You want to.
Well, a lot of our clients don't want to turn over their tax returns to us because they know that they're really reflecting the most amount of expenses that they could write off to create a lower tax liability. So the recast, it comes into play by looking at their tax returns and profit and loss statements so we can determine what expenses we can add back in to create a higher value.
And those expenses, specifically for sole proprietors and partnerships and stuff like that, might be personal car expenses. It might be repairs on the business that are one-offs or whatever the case might be and stuff like that. So those are things that can get added in. And why do we add those back in? Is so we can have apples to apples when we're selling against other companies.
Right.
Right?
And they'd be businesses that would be able to be passed off to the new buyer that they could expect to see at their company.
Right. For instance, if you have a manufacturing business, let's say a printing company, and you had to buy a new printer, and that new printer was $15,000 that you bought,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that printer is now going to last another 15, 20 years. That's a one-off, right? And that doesn't really reflect the sales of the business for that year because you took a big $15,000 hit. So we'll add that back in to reflect the number of what your actual sales were for that month.
That's right.
Or that year.
Right.
Yep.
So there is value-based pricing
Yeah, so that's something that we don't necessarily like to do because it's all about perception, right? It's about what's perceived.
Without any concrete evidence to support it.
Right.
Education.
And we do find that out there, right? We do find that, and we come across it from time to time ourselves with clients who
Kind of like testing the market.
or let's face it, this really is more geared towards small businesses who just don't really know what they need to know in order to get the numbers to us that they have, right?
Right.
So these are the customers that hand us their information in a shoebox. I mean, we actually had that happen, right?
Well, they know they're providing such great value to their customers. So for them, they feel like their business was worth a lot because they know they're making a difference in their customers' lives by doing a great job by their clients. But we really need to show that on paper.
Right. And so when we're looking on at a business and creating a sales price and a strategy, there's probably a little bit of that might come to fruition. For instance, again, I'm going to refer to a client we we're just talking about. They said their sales are increasing.
Yeah.
So, the problem with that is it's perceived, right? It's not on paper. It hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So how do we show that? We really can't show that much. But, that's something that we can take into a factor when we're looking at all the other numbers. Okay, maybe we'll go on the higher side of this one number instead of the lower side because it's an up-and-coming market or the sales are up-and-coming.
However, for some businesses, there is like accounts receivable that you may have in your QuickBooks program or your bookkeeping program software that could show that you do have income that it's due and expected to come in to create that higher value and actually be able to substantiate that on paper.
Your accounts receivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are creative ways to reflect that even if the money hasn't been received yet.
Excellent. And then, another way that you can increase value before the sale of your business is come up with some other sales models, right? So tiered pricing and bundles, right? So maybe you have things or products or services that you can bundle together and make more with that than you would a la carte.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So and who's good at that is the fast food restaurants, right? So they have bundles, right? Your meal deals.
Pickles and instead of the
Well, it's about, right?
You want your Starbucks,
The
handy and an extra shot.
Yeah. So the hamburger versus the cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
And then the single versus the double, right? Those are bundles or value added or tiered pricing.
Right.
So those are things that
help you expand your profitability.
Yeah. So you as a business owner, as you're looking at your business, what can you do to increase that and make that more of an attractive buy for the buyer?
Right. Create a bigger buyer pool, be more diverse.
Yes, exactly. It will be. So the next thing that we would look at would be what?
When a business wants to maximize their profits right before selling, you might want to downsize your overhead or reduce some costs or streamline what you're spending money on.
This is a touchy one in a couple aspects, and I'll talk about that. But yeah, streamline your operations, reduce costs. And how can you reduce costs, right? You can, the manufacturing part.
We want to actually increase your maximum profits by reducing some of your costs, right?
Right. And so production materials, perhaps you can find your materials elsewhere.
At a lower cost.
At a lower cost.
Both from a different manufacturer.
Right. Administrative costs, customer costs. These are all things that can
decrease your overhead. Overhead is the key word here, right?
Yeah, overhead is the key word. Now, I want to stress something here. That doesn't mean start reduction in forces and laying employees off or anything like that. We're not talking about that. Yeah. We're talking about just finding ways to reduce some of the costs of you doing business.
That's even doing some small things can make a difference.
Well, go back and the next thing is go back and look at your contracts, right?
Review everything.
Perhaps you can renegotiate a contract with one of your vendors.
Such a good point, because we all don't have the time necessarily to pay attention to some of the outgoing expenses that we have, even in like running your own household. We have our cell phone bills and have contracts on them, and then all of a sudden we wake up one day and our payment is more, and we're like, why did our payment go up? Or a big one would be like Comcast or Cox Cable. You get this fabulous price for cable and Wi-Fi, bundled up together, and then after your 12 months is up, the price of your cable bill or your Wi-Fi bill is now doubled.
Yes.
So renegotiate those contracts and revisit them.
So I used to, back when I had Comcast, in Northern California, every year, right, I would get a price locked in, and then after that price was gone, I get a new bill, and it's like double. I call them up and say, look, we need to renegotiate this, or I'm going somewhere else.
And what would they do?
And pretty much I get it back down to right where I was.
That's where retention.
Yeah, customer retention.
Yeah, so there's things going on maybe with your current existing vendor accounts that maybe you need to, have a conversation and spend some time and renegotiate your contracts or your outlaying.
But again, I can't stress enough, this does not mean laying any employees off or whatever the case might be. Also,
because that could limit your profitability, because then you won't be able to have the manpower to continue offering the services and product.
Right. Or customer service is going to suffer.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely in the first
right. Yeah. And whatever you do in trying to minimize the prices, don't let customer service suffer.
Right.
Because that's going to be a huge factor in the sale of the business.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We want happy customers.
Right. So,
and that's our next point, right? Customer retention and upselling and those ideas.
Exactly. So I would suggest, looking at loyalty programs. How do you get repeat customers? Perhaps training your employees to have better customers. How many, I'm about to say a show of hands, but I can't do that, right? But how many of you, just think to yourself, small businesses offer training
and get one free, or is that what you mean?
Well, I was going to go with how many of you offer training to your employees about customer service.
Oh, right.
Right?
So important. Sales training.
Sales training. You should be holding at least monthly,
if not quarterly. Yeah.
Yeah. Training sessions with your employees, right? I have always picked, and I actually do monthly, and I always pick a topic, and this is the topic of the month. And then I focus all month on that topic and working with the employees to make sure that we drill down on this and get them in before we...
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not overwhelmed by a bunch of different...
Yeah, one month it's a specific aspect of customer service. And then, the next month it might be a specific access of customer service too, but it's something different.
Because you want your customers to actually spread the news of what a great employee you were, a representative of the business, so that they bring their friends and family in and create, more foot traffic and more sales for the company.
It is. I mean, again, back to recurring customers, right? Customer retention.
Mm-hmm.
So, some companies can do the loyalty program. Some can, right?
Some incentives.
Yeah. Incentives, right? Maybe you've got certain discounts or sales for your regular customers that come in that you can offset. And then also look at upselling and cross-selling, right?
Like we talked about a little bit earlier with regards to
bundles.
Yeah.
Well, I was just trying to
I think I'm getting hungry.
Yes. But yeah, so upsell, right? So again, as you said, do you want pickles on that or whatever case?
Yeah, right.
And there are a lot of different things that you can do in any business to kind of do that upsell. How many times have you gone to Best Buy? Do you want that warranty?
Yeah, right.
That's an upsell, because that warranty, 99% of the people are never going to use it.
And some customers don't know that you have those other products available. So it's always good to mention it and not just take the order of what they're, asking for, but, offer them some other ideas. You never know if they're going to say yes.
We run into
doesn't hurt to ask.
We run into that ourselves, right? With InvestQuire, everybody knows that we're a business broker,
mm-hmm.
a business brokerage firm, but we also offer management, business, and technology services too.
They don't know the
And so, yes,
services that we offer.
definitely, I encourage people to go check our services page out and see the wide breadth of services that we can offer you other than just selling your business.
Exactly.
So what's the next one, Lisa?
So we're wanting you to invest in your people and develop talent within your company, which Barry just touched on. Basically, it's, offer them the training programs and make sure that they're, they come to work with a fresh attitude every day and are doing their best job, and also offering the upselling incentive to their clients, to their customers, right?
Exactly. And there's third-party companies out there, training companies out there that offer. If you can't come up with a training course yourself, there are companies out there that you can purchase their online courses or whatever the case be, and then have your employees take courses online.
Yeah.
Right. But, here's the two things that I've seen in all my 40 years of business suffer. And it's training and security. Those are things that companies push back to the fringes. Maybe they think about it, maybe they don't. Most times they don't.
Because they expect the person that they hire them with a BA degree in that field, then they think, oh, they're good to go.
Exactly.
Right?
And I have a degree in that field, but my degree was, I got mine in the 80s.
Right.
Right. So marketing, there's a lot more. I'm a sponge. I learn every day. I try every day to learn something.
Yeah.
And there is more to learn. And I can't stress enough, teach your employees, right? Because it's going to make them better, but it's also going to make it better for your customers, which in turn is going to make it better for the sale of your company.
Absolutely.
Which is our ultimate goal here, right?
And some corporations are offering like mental health or yoga or massages on their corporate sites in the lunchroom or something.
Yeah.
In one of their conference rooms during lunchtime.
So
those are great companies to work for.
They are. And there's two things I want to touch on that, right? So first off, I've had the opportunities to work with all generations. And I played very well in all generations. I learned to play in the sandbox with, Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, boomers, you name it. Each of them has a different trigger or a motivating factor for them, right?
Right.
And not only that, but, this is something that's in flux. Some of the younger generations, right? It's more about work balance.
Yeah.
And more about the lifestyle than it is the work style nowadays, and wanting to work from home, or they want to have that mental health day or whatever the case might be. Here's something interesting, though, that I found out not too long ago. In Santa Clara County, they put a law in place that like Google and Apple and Facebook can't offer free lunches anymore, right? Because everyone, all the smaller businesses can't compete as large companies. So a lot of the incentives that these large companies had been given out are no longer allowed to be given out.
To do that anymore, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just read an article about it. I don't know all the details. I probably should go back and get more detail on it for sure. It might be something for a later topic to talk about. But just keep in mind, offer training, offer incentives for your employees. And what's that going to do? It's going to foster a productive work environment, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you got to like that. And then our next one is what?
So diversifying your revenue streams is actually, part of that is expanding your product or service offerings. New ways to have streams of income coming in, right?
Right.
And developing.
Expand. Yes, exactly. So develop that new market or that new product or where the case might be.
A lot of things are online now. So maybe offer your product online. And Barry can help you do that. Create a website or...
we talked about online training, where there's all kinds of different things that can be done, right? And just find other sources of revenue that you can tie into your business. That's going to drive your revenue up, which is going to drive the sale of your business up, right?
Subscription-based model too is
Yes.
big.
Well, so
On Amazon, it's running
think about it.
on everything.
All these companies have gone to the subscription base, right? So Microsoft, right? You used to be able to buy Microsoft Office,
Right.
and it cost me, you know,
One CD for $150, $150.
yeah.
Something.
And now you pay $10, $15 a month. And guess what? They're going to get you in the end.
Yeah.
Because you might have bought that for $150 and you got the CD, you've installed it on your computer, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But if they can charge you $15 a month,
Yeah.
in 10 months, they've made their money, and now everything after that's gravy,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I'm rolling it.
So a subscription-based model is a really good model for companies to think about
Yeah.
how to integrate that in.
Yeah. It's so smart. I know. And I did that with my vitamins, and I ended up with all these vitamins. I don't know what to do with them. I had to stop
That's why you're so healthy.
ordering them. I'm like, enough is enough.
Oh,
I don't want to be this healthy.
I don't want to be that healthy. Wait a minute.
Just kidding.
Aren't you living to 110?
Oh my gosh, my great grandmother lived to 97. Let's hope so.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So find ways that you can integrate new lines of business into your company and increase the value of your revenue coming in on a monthly basis.
Right. And then with that, you have to embrace technology, because some of these expansion ideas of your product or services will involve, creating new software for your company, and you're going to have to train your employees then on the new software, right? But it could actually streamline your business even more.
It's funny that,
Worth the investment.
yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I had a client not too long ago who bought this software package and installed it. They never trained any of their employees on how to use it. But they thought it was going to make them more productive. And if they had, gave them the training to their employees to learn how to use it, it would have.
Yeah.
It would have. But
So
they did.
companies will invest money in an idea or product, and then they forget about it, or they don't have time to do the training. And so it gets left on the back burner. And then therefore their sales are not getting, maximized for that product, just for extended service.
Exactly. I mean, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, right? AI.
Mm-hmm.
We've had several podcasts on AI,
Yeah.
and the positive side and the negative side.
Yeah.
But for business, there is a huge upside to it, and a positive side. If you can learn how to embrace it and use it in your company, it can make your life a lot easier,
Right.
and give you back a lot of time.
Yeah. And I applaud those that are using it to their company's success.
Yes, exactly. So, and then automate.
Marketing. Oh my gosh, this is a big one for us real estate people. Because, having automated marketing is really key on keeping your business consistent. So, I highly recommend you guys buying tools or investing in some software and email campaigns to streamline everything for you and how to go automatically out to your clients. It'll lessen the amount of time and burden that you have as a business owner.
Perfect. Well said.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Right. So the next one is about inventory, right? And just to manage your inventory effectively.
Right.
And so learn how to forecast. You want to have the right inventory. You don't want to be understocked, and you don't want to be overstocked, right? You want to be just in time stocked on your inventory. So if you sell product, how much product do you have to have versus and then when do you get your shipments coming in? Do you get them coming in weekly? Do you get them coming in monthly? But just know this, any product that you have sitting on your shelf is not making you any money.
Right.
Right?
Collecting dust.
It's collecting dust. So learn how to effectively control your inventory and get the right amounts, right?
Right.
If you walk into your back room and you got a whole bunch of products sitting on the shelf, you might not want to order that product for a while.
Yeah.
Right. And then you should probably be analyzing your sales and your books to understand how many of these you sell in a day, a week, a month, so that you can forecast, okay, if I sell 2 of these a week and I got 10 sitting on the shelf, then I got 5 weeks worth of
It's a mathematical problem, right?
everything in life is math, right?
You're not good at math, call Barry's awesome at it.
Wait, I thought you're pretty damn good at it too yourself.
Sure. Yeah, and that brings me to a funny point about during COVID when the inventory people, the stores couldn't get toilet paper and water fast enough. And so it was like, couldn't keep it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Had way too much demand for it. Everybody was knocking over each other to get to the cases of water.
Everybody.
Who would have known?
Yeah. You know,
I know people that do analysis on what is the most popular alcoholic drink that's selling off the shelf. And then they, there's buyers are in play deciding where to house them on the shelves, because they don't want to attract more attention to the product and get them sold quickly.
yeah.
So there's so many aspects that you could study that go into it as a business owner to effectively manage your inventory, to Barry's point about inventory being a crucial and key important part of it.
Yeah. On time.
At the end of the day,
I had a thought and just escaped my mind. That happens. How many times have you thought of something, right? And you're thinking, like, okay, I gotta go do this. And you walk into the kitchen and gone.
you open the refrigerator door and you're like, why did I open the door?
Yes.
What do I really want?
Well,
Because we're thinking of too many things at the same time.
I just had that moment.
We can ask Anger what do I want right now.
Yeah. You know what I always attributed it to, right? I walked in, like Men in Black, I walked into an alien abduction, and Will Smith is sitting there with a little zapper thing.
Oh my God.
And then I walked in and I get zapped, and then next thing, why was I here? What?
It does feel like that sometimes.
It does.
So that's because running a business just involves so much of your creative practices and analysis. So that's what happens, Barry.
Yeah.
A bit.
Well, let me suggest this. As a business owner, you should be an expert in your business, right? So you should know what's selling and what's not selling. And so when you're doing your inventory pieces of it, make sure that, you're ordering it properly. Again, product sitting on the shelf is not making you any money.
Right.
At the same time, you're not making any money if you're out of stock.
So if you have that inventory sitting on your shelf, then what are you supposed to do next? You're supposed to sharpen your marketing, find ways to highlight that product so you can get it off your shelf and sell it, right? Create marketing and sales strategies around the product that you need to move.
Well, depending on your margin, maybe you discount a little bit and get it, sometimes, the sales work and discounts work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Make sure you gear it to the consumer, to the demographics that surround, your product. Who are those people? Make sure you're identifying them.
Yes, exactly. So, and you should have a clear roadmap as to what your marketing strategies are and stuff like that, right? And so you're not necessarily going to use every single marketing strategy all at once, right? You're going to pull one out of your bag, you're going to use it, and then maybe you're going to cycle through a different one and then cycle through a different one.
Yeah, and you target your demographic buyer online using online advertising like Facebook. You can boost your posts and your marketing through Facebook and Instagram, or you can use platforms like Google Ads to do some of your marketing and create a larger audience as much as you can, expand some,
There are good things and bad things about those, but absolutely. So, the next thing is really about negotiating with your suppliers, right? We hit upon this already, but
oh yeah, we kind of do. Yeah, we
again, as I said earlier, you should be the expert of your business, right? You should be the expert of what sells, what doesn't sell. You should be able to walk in with confidence when you're talking with your suppliers. And just because, think of this, they're business too, right? When you ask them how much for this widget and they say $10,
yeah.
That's not set in stone.
Right. Everything's up for negotiation. Say.
Right.
Everything all day long. So you better be sharpening your negotiation skills if you're a business owner.
Yeah.
You want to make some money.
Exactly. And then, one of the last things here is to seek professional advice.
Oh, gosh. It's like, a weight trainer needs somebody to train him.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't do it alone.
Well, I've been the CEO of some large companies and many companies, and I've always reached out for advice from other people as well, right? So I don't have all the answers. I know I don't. And the best manager is somebody who surrounds himself with successful people.
Yeah, you always want to take the bits and pieces from other people that have had success and learn from them.
Right. You know, I've always said this. I believe this to be true. I've seen it time and time again. But the best CEO of a company, whether it's a small company or a multi-million-dollar or a Fortune 100 company, is a generalist, right? They know a lot about all the different departments and what happens and goes on, but they don't have all the detail. They don't need the detail. Right. They're going to hire the expert, that vice president that's going to run accounting, that vice president that's going to run finance, that vice president that's going to run marketing or sales or services.
True.
So surround yourself with successful people or experts, right?
You might need a business coach to come in and coach your employees like we were talking about earlier. If you lack the time or the ability to train people and motivate them, that may not be in your DNA. You might want to hire a business coach or a consultant to create the excitement for your employees to show up to work and be at their best so they could sell more product for you.
And that can be us.
I love doing coaching. That's a rewarding job.
It is definitely rewarding. So, you know, I've said this many times. They have my post-secondary teaching credentials. I love teaching, and I like it when I see that light bulb come on in that person's head, and the gotcha moment, like, that's how it all comes together. That's the reward in itself, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Because when they believe in themselves, and you know, they can have limitless futures and limitless success.
Exactly.
That's what we want for you guys. We want you all to increase your profitability in your companies and have a limitless success. And always know that you can reach out and partner with people like us at InvestFire to help you along the way.
Yes. So where can you find us? You can find us at investquire.com. You can also find us on Facebook. We have a page there, a group called The Biz Show, which is this podcast. And we're more than happy to help. And we're looking forward to talking to you.
And make it a great day.
All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good day.
Bye.